Hello everyone, and welcome back to this month's segment of front of house structure. This month's sales technique is crucially important. I want to draw a couple parallels to things that you might be able to associate with, but what we're talking about is establishing yourself as a professional at the table. There is a big misconception that if you approach a table and you are overly friendly and very jokey and just a bit of a clown in general, that might be a little bit harsh, but if you approach a table in this fashion, that you will be tipped an enormous amount, and this is a complete fallacy. What I wanted to tell you, the fact is that if you establish yourself at the table as a professional, you're going to sell a lot more because people are going to be more apt to take your advice, but also you're going to get tipped better because people tip a professional better than they tip, a friend. And let's be honest, the people that are coming into your restaurant are not your friends. They are customers. They are people coming in to spend money, and they want a good experience. Now, I'm not telling you not to be friendly. That's not what I'm telling you at all. Actually, it's just the opposite. I want you to be overly friendly, but I don't want you to be overly familiar. These are things we're going to talk about in our service point this month. But here's what I'm talking about. At your first approach to the table, all right, what I see happening is people saying, "Good evening, folks," or "Hi, guys, how are you tonight?" and things like that. And while that is very approachable and it really does break down a barrier between you and the table and opens up a conversation, it doesn't establish you at all at that table as a professional. Now, if you approach that table like this, if you say, "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jared, and I'm going to be guiding you through your meal tonight. Any questions that you have, feel free to ask me." Now, just by changing the wording, going from "Good evening, folks" to "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen," you are now treating that table with respect, but you are also demanding respect yourself and respect as a professional. Now let's step aside a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about who you are. All right, and I'll relate it to who I am. My name is Jared. I grew up in Connecticut. I was in the performing arts for a number of years in Manhattan. I'm a Mets fan. I love Disney World and all this kind of stuff. None of this is important to your table. Not at the beginning. What's important to your table at the beginning, and it should be most important to you, is that who you are in your restaurant is a professional who is a representative of your chef and your owner, who is an ambassador of the farmers who are growing the product that's on your table, and as a liaison to the people that are making the wine that you are trying to sell. All right, you need to cover all three of these bases. You need to be a representative for your restaurant. You need to be a representative for the farmers who are putting the food on the table for you, and you need to be an ambassador for the people making the wine. If you can establish all of this right off the bat, you are going to demand respect from the table. The table is then with that respect, they are then going to accept your suggestions as being the word of God. And then after that, and this is all just the first 5 minutes at the table, but that 5 minutes is so crucial. It's so remarkably crucial because that first 5 minutes, you're going to establish whether or not you're a professional, whether the table is going to tip you, whether they're going to respect your opinion, whether they are going to buy more product from you. Because believe me, people will buy from a professional. All right? But then after that, after you get all that out of the way, feel free to talk to your tables. I am the biggest culprit of being over-familiar with the table. Again, we're going to talk about over-familiarity in our service point this month because that can actually be a problem. But talk to your tables. Open up to them. But do that after you've sold your product and established yourself as a professional of this really amazing gastronomic industry that we're in, called the restaurant industry. If you can do that, the table's going to respect you, they're going to tip you, they're going to buy from you. Your check averages are going to raise, and believe me, statistically it's proven, 1 out of every 10 tables will tip you more because you're friendly. But 9 out of 10 tables will tip you more and they'll spend more because they're being waited on by a professional. Use this advice, approach your tables as a professional, and you'll sell more and you'll get tipped more. Thank you very much.